In this video, I'm going to talk about the tonality and harmony of Bach's Brandenburg Concerto No. 5. So overall, the tonality is D major. We're in the key of D major. That means that all the notes from the piece come from the D major scale. That's two sharps. D major has F sharp and C sharp. Okay? Now, remember, there are three sections to the piece. We're in ternary form, so we've got section A, B, A. And we're not in D major all the way through. We have some modulations. Modulation means to change key. So in the first section, section A, we're in D major. But then in section B, we change to B minor. And remember, this is our contrasting section to sound different to A. Our B section is in B minor. So we go from D major to B minor. So a different key from D major to B minor to give us this contrast. Now, B minor is not an accident. It's not just a random key. B minor is a relative of D major. It's the relative minor, and we'll have a look at that now. So what do related keys mean? A related key is a key that shares the same the same key signature as another key. So every major key, like D major, has a relative minor, and they have the same key signature, the same sharps or flats. So let's look at the simplest first, C major. C major has no sharps or flats, so the key signature is no sharps, no flats, all white notes, and that has a relative minor. If we shift everything up 2 scale degrees, 1, 2, we get A minor. So from C, we go down to A, and we're at A minor. And that is the same key signature. It's the relative minor of C major. And they're both all white notes, as you can see here. And you can see the distance between the major and the minor. C, you go down 2 scale degrees and you get the A minor. Okay? Another example, the example that we need in this case is D major, because the Bach's Brandenburg Concerto is in D major. So we start with D major, and we shift everything 2 scale degrees, and we get to B minor. Okay? It's got the same sharps or flats, still got F sharp and C sharp. Okay? This is if you know anything about minors, this is the natural minor. The harmonic minor would have a sharp and 7th, okay? But we're just looking at the natural minor, okay? So these are related keys, and as you can see, again, we've got D and B. To find the relative minor, you go down 2 scale degrees. Another way of putting it is you go down 3 semitones, okay? So, as we said before, the overall key is D major. We start in D major in the A section, and then we're in B minor, the relative minor, and then D major in the last section. Now, if we zoom in even more, zoom into the A section, we don't just stay in D major, we've got a few modulations within our A section. So we start in D major, but then we move to A major. And A major is the dominant of D major, and I'll talk about what that means in a minute. And then it also moves another modulation, it goes to E major, which is known as the secondary dominant, and this means it's the dominant of the dominant, okay? So try and keep up with me here. I'll explain what I mean. So have a look here. We've got scale degrees here of D major. D is the first degree of the scale, and then we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 again. So these are the scale degrees. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And each of these has a name. So 1 is the tonic. In any key, the first note of the scale is the tonic. And then 2 is always the supertonic. 3 is the mediant. 4 is the subdominant. 5 is the dominant. 6 is the submediant. And 7 is the leading note. And it's leading us back to 1 again, the tonic. So remember what I said that in section A, we go to the dominant, okay? So if we're in the tonic D, moving to A is the dominant. So we suddenly change key, we modulate to A major, and that's known as the dominant, okay? Now once we're in A major, we've got a new set of scale degrees. So A is now the tonic. There's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So we've got a new set of scale degrees because we've changed key. 1 is now A, and the dominant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth, the dominant in A is E major. So hopefully you can see now that the dominant of D, from D major, the dominant of D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is A major, and the dominant of A, go down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is E. So we've got the tonic D, the dominant of D is A, and then the dominant of A, so the dominant of the dominant is E. So we call E major here the secondary dominant because it's the dominant of the dominant. We're just going up in fifths, as you can see there. Okay. So in summary, the A section starts in D major, then we modulate to the dominant A major, and then we modulate again to the dominant of the dominant E major, the secondary dominant. Okay. This is typical of music from the Baroque era. Modulations will often take you just to the dominant or subdominant. Okay, moving on to section B. As I said, we change straight to the relative minor, which is B minor. Okay, but in here we've got quite a few modulations, lots of change in key. So we start in B minor, but we then move to F sharp minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the dominant, the fifth, F sharp minor. That's the dominant of B minor. But then we move to A major, which is the dominant of D, like we said before. We move to E minor, which is the subdominant of B minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the subdominant. And then we're back to the tonic D again. So let's have a look at what that looks like. So here's our scale degrees of B minor, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, and B. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. And we can see our tonic, supertonic, mediant, subdominant, dominant. I won't carry on because the important ones are the dominant and the subdominant there. So we've got the tonic B, the subdominant is an E, and the dominant is F sharp. So as I said, in section B, we start in B minor, then it moves to the dominant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the dominant, which is F sharp, and then it also goes to the subdominant, which is E minor. Okay? So, lots of modulations there. The important thing to remember here is the meaning of the word the dominant, which is the fifth scale degree of a scale, fifth degree of a scale, and also important, the dominant, which is the fourth. Okay, so if you can remember those three, the tonic, which is chord 1, the subdominant is chord 4, and the dominant, which is chord 5, you're onto a winner. So then the final section A is exactly the same as the first section, so I don't really need to go through that.